So before this video gets started, I do want to give out a quick disclaimer, or I guess a quick heads up is the best way to put it. I want to give a quick heads up before I get started with this video. So in my last video, I do want to clarify this very quickly in case if I accidentally caused some kind of confusion. So I just realized this now, like the dumb I am. Apparently, the Gears of War Reloaded remaster game, it's not a collection, it's just a standalone game. I thought for some reason that it was like a collection of the first three Gears of War games, but no, it's just a remaster for the first original. So if I caused any confusion or misinformation, I do apologize. I don't know why I thought it was part of some kind of collection when they're just remastering the original. So I'll take the L on that part. The Gears of War Remastered is not a collection, it's just a remaster of the original Gears of War game. So with that being said, let's get on with the topic of today's video. So, Gears of War Reloaded, also known as the remaster, is coming to PlayStation, like I talked about in my last video. But for this video, I just want to talk about how I'm pretty worried for Gears of War Reloaded coming to PlayStation. Now, I am pretty excited for this game. Don't get me wrong. I love Gears of War. It's one of my favorite game franchises of all time, and I'm glad it's coming to PlayStation. But I am also pretty worried for this game going forward, especially given the current standards that we are in for today's dark ages of modern gaming. So, what we do know is that this is a remaster for the original Gears of War game. Not the second Gears of War, not the third Gears of War, but it's a remaster of the first Gears of War game from what we know. And this is going to be PlayStation's first introduction to the Gears of War franchise now that it's being ported over to PlayStation. And it makes me think, I wonder how Microsoft is going to handle this port for Gears of War coming to PlayStation. Are they going to get all the original developers and companies that made Gears of War and they're going to work on it together? Or are they going to get those crazy Aspire lunatics that destroyed Star Wars Battlefront the Classic Collection, that basically destroyed everyone's childhood franchise? And you got to take this into consideration too. There is obviously a market for shooter games. I mean, Call of Duty is one of the most popular shooter games out there of all time, but as of lately, those crazy Activision assholes have been dropping the ball so hard that Call of Duty is just not in a good spot, and it's been absolutely struggling for quite some time now. And of course, with the embarrassment that has been going on with Call of Duty and Activision as of lately, this could be a good opportunity for Gears of War to temporarily take that spotlight away from Call of Duty and let fans of shooter games know, oh hey, if you're looking for a good shooter game to play, try out Gears of War Reloaded. This game has crossplay, it's got campaign, we got the multiplayer, you name it. Now, I said this in my last video talking about Gears of War, and I'm gonna say it again. I know Gears of War is not everyone's cup of tea, but of course, with games like Call of Duty that have just been dropping the ball so hard as of lately, I feel like this is a good chance for people who enjoy shooter games. This could be their good opportunity to make that transition temporarily over the Gears of War for the time being until Call of Duty gets its act together. Especially because this game, Gears of War Reloaded, has crossplay confirmed for this game, so you can play with your friends on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. As long as you have a Microsoft account made for Gears of War Reloaded, then you'll be able to play with your buddies that way. Now look, the idea of Gears of War coming to PlayStation sounds really awesome. You get crossplay, you get a full fleshed out campaign, a fleshed out multiplayer. Sounds really cool, right? Now, it sounds amazing on paper, but how will it do in execution? You know, because whenever a game usually launches nowadays, they usually just come out unfinished. They either come out buggy and broken right out of the gate, just completely unplayable, Or usually 70% of the game is locked behind a paywall and you have to buy like a battle pass or a bunch of stuff in the item shop, or you have to buy whatever. You have to buy some kind of microtransaction just to get like full access to the game or get a better gaming experience or whatever kind of bullshit that these microtransactions want to throw at us. Now, you could make the argument and try to tell me, well, Nightwing, there really wasn't any crazy microtransactions back then in the original Gears of War games, you goofball. And yes, you'd be right. But however, in Gears of War 3, there were microtransactions, mostly just DLC, so you can play on some extra maps and get some extra weapon camos that came with the DLC bundle. And you got maybe a couple of extra characters to play as in the DLC. Now, of course, with that being said, it makes me think, with Gears of War Reloaded, with all the DLC that originally came with the original game, will that be for free with Gears of War Reloaded, or will we have to pay for that separately? Especially given the recent track record of these corporate companies and how greedy they have been as of lately. So, with these corporate companies and their greed, you'll never know. Now, of course, with this being said, I do want to ask the $1,000,000 question. How much money is this game going to cost? Is it going to cost like $50 or $60? Is it going to cost $70 or $80? How much is it going to cost, you know? Especially because we already had companies like Nintendo and Microsoft already announced that their prices are going up from $70 to $80. So it makes me think, will this Gears of War Reloaded game costs like $80, and if that's going to be the case, then I'm not going to be interested in that game then. I was excited for getting this game day one, but if it's going to cost like 80 fucking dollars or $70, I'm definitely going to take back what I said about buying this game day one, and I'm going to think twice, and I'll just probably hold off for a price drop. But then again, this is a classic title, so maybe they're going to sell it for like $60. But then again, we had companies like Nintendo announce that they're going to sell like 8-year-old games like Breath of the Wild that was originally $60. They're going to charge basically 20 extra bucks and they're going to sell it for $80. So, with all of these concerns being said, I am pretty worried for Gears of War Reloaded, and I do want this game to come out good, and I want this game to be good. Now, of course, like I've said already, this is going to be Sony's first introduction to the Gears of War franchise. And this is going to be some people's first Gears of War experience. And if the developers drop the ball on this remastered, then people are not going to be happy. So, as much as I want this game to succeed and be good, I am pretty worried for this remaster. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about how I'm worried for Gears of War Reloaded. And I will see you all later.